going on? So, you're in the early stages of your playing, but you have a burning desire to get better, and you just can't seem to have enough material to get you to where you want to be. Well, these exercises are for you. I'm calling it the Guitar Technique Bootcamp. This is volume 1, and in it we have 5 exercises that are essentially non-musical exercises designed to just target different things that will improve your guitar playing quickly. And each exercise tackles specific parts of a beginner's playing that everyone needs to improve very quickly. So the first exercise that we have is probably the most common guitar technique exercise for people just starting lessons, but I want to highlight some reasons why it's so useful. So let's go ahead and play it. A lot of people learn this starting on the very first fret, but I'm going to start it on the 5th fret. And the reason for that is because the frets are a little bit closer together the farther you go up the neck, and the string tension isn't quite as high as on the 1st fret. So you might find that this exercise is easier to play starting on the 5th fret. And essentially what we're going to do is we're going to work on all 4 of our fingers fretting notes. So we're just going to go 5, 6, 7, 8, right up the string. And then we're going to go to the next string, do the same thing. And we're going to do that on all 6 strings. The goal is not any kind of specific tempo. The main goal is to work on specifically your left hand thumb placement, as in your thumb is on the middle of the back of the neck, pointed up. You're using the pad of your thumb to touch the back of the neck, and it's not flexed, it's relaxed. We're working on our individual finger placement, so using the tips of our fingers to push down the notes just behind each fret. And then we're obviously working on our finger independence a little bit as well by using all 4 of the fingers. Another thing that I think isn't often mentioned are the right hand benefits. Now, you can pick this exercise however you want. Eventually, you should alternate pick it, as in down, up, every single pick. But you can start off picking this however you want. All downstrokes is a great way to start this exercise. The other thing is with your right hand is you're working on changing strings. And that can be an early skill that stops a lot of people. You know, the first thing that they usually learn on guitar is a song that is on 1 string. Maybe it's Smoke on the Water or Happy Birthday or something. And then as soon as you get in more strings involved, it kind of becomes like an exponential multiplier in terms of difficulty. You really have to start concentrating a lot on where your pick is. So this exercise helps you tackle that as well. All these exercises are going to help you with your pick. I call it pick awareness. So yeah, with this exercise, you're just going to go straight down the strings, 5, 6, 7, 8, ascending. And then what I want you to do is I want you to move your hand up 1 fret and go 9, 8, 7, 6. So descending down the strings. As soon as you make it all the way there, go up another fret, start ascending. When you need to descend, go up another fret. And essentially you just keep doing that. You keep, every time you make it to the other end of the strings, you just go up a fret. And what I like to do is I'll go from the 5th fret all the way up to the 12th fret. And that is just a great warm-up for your fingers, for your picking, and a classic exercise. Now, the next exercise in this volume is another finger independent exercise, but instead of using all 4 fingers at once, we're targeting specific sets on our left hand. So the first one you want to do is just think of it in terms of your fingers. We're going to keep it on the 5th fret, but just think of things in terms of your fingers and not what fret they're playing. We're going to work on our first finger and our middle finger. And again, we're just going to go down the strings and up the strings. Now we're going to work on 1st and 3rd. obviously we're working on our finger independence, our string changes with our right hand. But the other thing is, don't ignore the odd pairings of fingers. So like your middle and ring, or your middle and pinky, or your, specifically, don't ignore your ring and pinky. I need to work on it a little bit. I remember that ring and pinky one was really tough for me starting out. So make sure you put in the time for all those fingers. You will use them. And these exercises are specifically for weak points like those fingerings. So don't skip them, otherwise you're missing the point. Okay, so those are your first two exercises. Now the third exercise is going to be focusing on power chords. This is the first chord shape that a lot of people learn. A lot of people learn it in the open position, but we're not going to do open position power chords because they aren't that technically challenging. Again, we're starting around the 5th fret, and all we're going to do is we're going to make a power chord, 5 and 7. I'm using my ring finger on the 7th fret. You can use your pinky if you want. That's fine, they're basically interchangeable, I think. We play that power chord, we drop it down a string, and play another power chord. And then we move that exercise up 1 fret, and the same thing. We just go from the 5th fret up to the 12th fret. So kind of similar to that first exercise that we were doing, where you work from the 5th fret to the 12th fret. Okay, that's a pretty short explanation, but I don't think it needs much more than that. Let's move on to the next exercise. So this exercise is mostly working on your picking hand as well as coordination between your hands. The way we start it is by picking a string that's sort of in the middle of the guitar. In the tab that's attached to this video, the string I chose is the G string, and all you're going to do, now picking is, you have to follow the picking instructions for these exercises now. So now we're moving into, you have to pick things a certain way. So we're going to alternate pick the open G string, and that's the first exercise. So if this is the first time you've done an exercise like this, don't worry about using a metronome or anything like that. Eventually we will incorporate a metronome. As you can see written in the tablature, this is a 16th note pulse. So just think 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a... and basically this is only to get your picking hand to do nice small strokes so that you're not hitting the other strings. You're only playing the strings that you intend to play. It's a great warm-up for your picking hand, and really helps you get things started in terms of picking fast, which is kind of what every guitar player's goal is, I think, at some point, especially electric guitar players. Alright, let's incorporate our left hand now. So what I included in the tab are different fingerings that use different groups of fingers. And they're, we start off with index on 1, ring on 4, pinky on 5. So it goes 2, 4, 5, 4. And we just repeat that over and over. So again, we're using that 16th note pulse, so it's 1, E, and then it repeats. And the goal with this is not particularly to get an insanely fast speed or anything. It's to work on your finger independence with your left hand, work on your picking speed with your right hand, and then also to work on the coordination between your hands to get that fast picking speed. I think you'll find that exercises like this, while they seem simple, they get much more difficult the faster that you play them. So that's the first fingering. So that's index, ring, and pinky. Now we're going to move our index up to the 4th fret. We're going to go index, middle on 5, pinky on 7. So this is the same exercise, but a different fingering. And I think what you'll realize as you play more guitar is your fingerings all have a different kind of coordination level with your picking hand. So it's important to work on every fingering. Same thing, you just go until you've reached sort of your peak speed. But again, clean notes, clean articulation with your pick. Make sure your picking is in sync with your left hand, because that's all we're trying to build right now. Okay, now the last one that I did is 7, index on 7, middle on 8, ring on 9. So we've got 3 fingerings here. Index, ring, pinky, index, middle, pinky, index, middle, ring. And that's it. Cool. So that leads me to our very last exercise. Exercise number 5, I think. Yes, exercise number 5. This is just introducing you to octaves, to string skipping with your right hand. And yeah, I find it to be a really valuable exercise. All the octaves are going to be skipping one string. And yeah, so we start on the low E, so my index is on 7, my ring is on 7 of the D string, that's the 3rd one from the top, and we just bounce back and forth between the two. You can pick this only down if you want, or you can alternate pick it. I'm going to alternate pick it. So down on the low E, up on D. You can hold both the notes down, or you can pick them up after each time. So holding them down, or picking them up. Either one is fine. From there, we just move it down a string. My guitar's out of tune. Yep. Gonna move it down another string. Oof. I can't stand my guitar being out of tune. I think it's because I used that whammy bar in the beginning lick. There we go. Cool. Alright, so we were doing A and G. Now we're going to do D and B. And G and high E. Now notice I'm using my pinky on the 8th fret for both the last 2 octaves. So it's index and pinky on the last 2. And if you want, you can run through all 4 of them in a row. Just want to make sure my guitar is in tune for this. And you can kind of play it as written. So something like that. It has kind of a musical quality to it, unlike most of the other exercises in this volume. But yeah, octaves are a great way to get started. String skipping on the guitar. So specifically, if you haven't heard that term before, string skipping is when you pick one string, skip over a string. In this very first octave, we're skipping over the A and playing the D string. Cool. Okay, so those are all the technique exercises in Guitar Bootcamp Volume 1. and I think these are going to be great technique builders for you as you're just starting your guitar journey. Look out for Volume 2, and I will see you later.